first two episodes of our New South Wales, New England Tableland trip, we already found some incredible camp spots, explored some new to us national parks, weathered some storms. The last episode ended when my Oztent Bunker Pro broke, so we're now heading into town and trying to get some replacement parts.
Well, now we're heading into Glen Innes. Yeah, and I have to say, got to have a look at the further weather forecast. Obviously we had a rain forecast anyway, but you never know, you may be in a pocket here and don't get much rain. From everywhere we looked, from Victoria to New South Wales, it seemed to be one of the better areas with a better likelihood of not being completely rained out. And the first 2 days were nice, but now if that continues, yeah, I'm probably going to make a beeline home a bit earlier, to be honest. Water flowing, nothing too crazy. That's good actually. It's Glen Innes here. Nice little town, I have to say. So, got ourselves a room here at the Glen Innes Inn. Pretty nice little spot. We just made it here. Scotty had to bend my antennas backwards. It's getting tighter here. Can't see.
Yeah, it was about a centimetre.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, that's good and nice and quiet because we one row back. That's pretty. Can't complain about that. Nice shower now. Cool.
Glen Innes is built on the land of the Ngunnawal people. Explorer John Oxley was the first white person to enter what became known as New England when he set out from the Macquarie River in 1818 to travel to what is now Port Macquarie. In doing so, he crossed the southern area of the future New England in the Walker area. 20 years later, in 1838, Archibald Boyd registered the first run, Boyd's Plain, later renamed Stonehenge, in what is today known as the Glen Innes district. Surveyor Joseph James Galloway surveyed the township of Glen Innes in 1851, with the town gazetted in 1852, and the first land lot sold in 1854. I have to say it again, I absolutely love the New England Tablelands, and in particular the small towns like Glen Innes or Tenterfield.
So, charging the Yeti 200X now while we're driving. Have used it a fair bit. Just plugs into the battery charger and I can change from 5 to 10 amps. Let me put it to 10 amps. So I'm pulling 10 amps out of my lithium battery now to charge this baby here.
The easy car charging is one of the many features where the Gold Zero beats the Bluetti Max Oak units, which I tested previously.
Yeah, we're here in Gyra, going towards Ebor Falls now, and 1300 meters high up is the tableland really, so fairly high. That means you have actually full 4 seasons here. You have winter, you have summer, autumn and spring. No idea. Some heavy lifting gear up there.
Okay.
Every year we try to go to Round Mountain, which is the highest mountain in that area. But the national parks closed it for the time being, only after until 3 o'clock or so. They do some heavy helicopter lifting. Not sure what they exactly do, but yeah. So we'll see. Maybe we are back later. Not sure yet.
Here the beautiful Ebor Falls. Been here before, but not after so much rain. So actually it will be great to see the falls with a decent amount of water in. Our next destination was the Guy Fawkes National Park. None of us had visited the park and we were keen to see what we could explore and what it would hold. There's not really that much to see in the park, the most of it is locked off or easy fire trails. However, the view from the Mount Hyland Nature Reserve is spectacular. Look at all that little, I don't know what it is. The little insects, they all carry something. Very pretty here. Tons of butterflies. Oh, this is a Chaelundi Campground. Guy Fawkes. It doesn't look that crazy. And
Plenty of bird life.
where's the river?
Yeah.
No river, huh?
I'd call it a creek.
Can you swim in it? Unfortunately, the Chaelundi Campground is pretty much the only thing accessible in the Guy Fawkes National Park. Everything else, beside a few fire trails, is pretty much locked off. So there's very little to see or to do in the Guy Fawkes National Park unless you go walking. As the campground didn't tickle our fancy too much, we decided to head on and see whether we could find something better. The national park really gets to me, I have to say. You know, everything is freaking locked. And then you have big fires coming through and everything is wiped out anyway. It's just frustrating. I mean, here, have a look, Jordan's Trail. So, Spring Gully picnic area, okay, and no unauthorized vehicles, locked gates, surveillance cameras. That also then applies to the campground. So we follow this track in, and in the middle, after 2 kilometers in, there's a gate. It's just a joke. And clearly here it shows Guy Fawkes River, 7.5 kilometers. Steep walk down to the river. Supervised children. Not anything locked here. No, nearly at the end. Really gets. I don't know. Come on. Given there was nothing to explore at Guy Fawkes, we decided to have a look at the adjoining Marengo and Chaelundi State Forest. Some of these areas were also devastated by the fires, but it was good to see that new growth already appeared. It is hard to imagine that an estimated 18.6 million hectares burned during the 2020 wildfires. All bush user groups together, like four-wheel drivers, hikers, mountain bikers, motorbike riders, could not do a small percentage of this damage, which is created by one of these big fires. So my question really is whether it's not better to have access to some of that locked up areas.
Tree across the track?
Yeah.
Okay, pity, it will be a bit reversing. We're trying to find a spot in the State Forest where we can camp, and this little side track is supposed to, or at least on the map, is gonna go towards escarpment. So we thought maybe that's worthwhile, but yeah, nothing is retained here. So reverse the baby a bit back here. So there was no room to turn around. It's Scotty coming back there.
Gonna grab a bit of this timber, mate.
Copy that.
Scouting a bit on the map, we found another track which weaved through the Chaelundi State Forest into the Marengo State Forest, and it had a few river crossings, so we thought we may find something nice to camp on this track. The track certainly wasn't used much, and there were tons of branches and sticks on that track, so we were both glad that we had the big mud terrain BFG KM3 tires, which are pretty robust and not easy to stake.
Another little branch in the road.
Copy the little branch. Warning.
Cresting a little bump here.
I'm at the little branch.
I'm over the bump.
I'm over the branch.
Watch that bump. You can crest.
Copy the bump. I'm on it now. I'm over it now.
Going straight now. Following the track.
Copy the follow track. I'm also going to follow the track.
Roger. There's another bump coming.
Roger bump. Stand by, stand by, stand by. Cresting. Over the little bump.
And there are some rocks on the track. Little dip here, dipping.
Copy the rocks. Copy the dip. And dipping now. Dip. Through the dip.
Copy that.
Right. Lovely.
Yeah, that's Simpson Desert Crossing if you're behind the wrong group.
Mate, yeah, we've all lain there, haven't we? So painful.
And the problem is that it just makes you turn the radio completely down.
Yeah, it actually has the opposite effect, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's 5:30 now. The deep mist here. We found a little spot which we visited earlier where we thought we were going to stay, but the only car we met on that whole trek is there. So that's a bit of a pity. And he's staying there. Not really camp spot, but just for a quick overnighter. So now, yeah, gonna go somewhere else, I guess.
As it was quite late by now, we decided to go back to the Chaelundi Campground, as that was the only camping spot within easy reach. Today on the menu, fresh beans, onions, lamb, then a bit more of green vegetables, and a little bit of rice I had left. Yeah, that's it. Another morning. Had a good night's sleep. Yeah, weather was good. A little bit of rain, but nothing too crazy. The fly still a little bit wet. It started raining actually when we went to bed, but it stopped at some stage. Yeah, all good. I think today we head to the coast. Maybe wait a little bit. Hopefully give that stuff a chance to dry. Coffee now. Packing, and then we off again. Mind you, the mountains are still in the clouds. And now we're heading towards the coast. The weather here is supposed to turn ugly again. So coast, which weather forecast supposedly a bit better. And we'll see. We may be catching up with Peter Campus and yeah, spend the night somewhere on the beaches. Let's see where we end up. You never know. We start the morning and we have usually no clue where we're going to end up in the evening. But I like that kind of traveling. That's my cup of tea. On the way to the coast, we had a stopover at Dorrigo, and I used the chance to fly the drone over the Dorrigo Railway Museum. The Dorrigo Steam Railway and Museum Limited is home to the largest collection of preserved railway vehicles and memorabilia from the various government and private railways of New South Wales. It's one of the most comprehensive railway collections in the world, with exhibits ranging from 1855 to the present day. At present, the museum is not yet open to the public, so you can't really see it. However, I'm really looking forward for the museum to open so that you actually can walk through it and see these historic exhibits in the flesh. Next stop was one of the very few wood-fired bakeries still in existence in Australia. Yeah, pie from the wood-fired oven, pretty nice. Wood-fired oven bakery.
Yeah, just
Straight
up here.
Beautiful. Hey, hi mate. Thank you for letting me in.
That's okay.
Oh.
So this is our fired oven. We have two sides. Each side has a firebox where we load the wood in each afternoon, just let it dry out enough to light. This one's been lit to cook for a pie oven. Pie oven loaded with fresh pies, wood-fired pies, and then this afternoon it'll be relit to do a load of bread. So this one here, that's the inside of that one. The other one's practically the same.
Wow. Have wood fire?
The bakery was built between 1943 and 1948 by the Reese brothers, and it's been here ever since. It's been preserved and we love it. It's one of very few left, so we cherish what it is. It does have its faults being so old, it does fall down. We have brick problems and stuff. Very hard to find someone that can maintain it for us. We've been very lucky.
Awesome.
We hope it never dies out, because it's a dying trade.
Yes.
But it's very special and very unique, and you just don't see them everywhere. So we're very proud of what it is and what we can do as well. They don't teach the art of wood-fired baking in any TAFE course. It's sort of something you have to learn on the job.
And that, I guess it's a different form of baking.
It is a totally different form of baking. So everything depends on the quality of your wood.
Yeah.
If you have green wood, it can alter the bake, being you don't get enough heat in the oven. It can be up to whether we have a storm come over while we have dough on the bench. Because we're in a very old room, we don't have controlled heating, so that can alter the growing of the yeast, which can just make our doughs go crazy, so our bakers have to work twice as hard. Or it can be, everything's a variant in wood-fired baking. There's just so much to learn.
Awesome. I really commend you, because not much in Australia, I reckon, not much of the old history is really preserved.
Exactly, yeah, this is history standing before you, so we're very lucky to be a part of it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for showing me
That's okay,
around.
you're very welcome.
So yeah, yesterday we looked at the weather forecast and the coast looked better, but yeah, it's also coming down here. It's dark. Forecast says rain pretty much most of the day and the night. So yeah, I decided to make a beeline home, I guess. No point, my stuff is nearly dry, no point getting everything wet again, spending another wetty day and night. So yeah, but we had 5 good days, weather was a bit interesting, but I guess we made the best out of it. As always, if you enjoy my videos, please like, share and subscribe. And if you can, please consider to head over to Patreon and become one of my Patreon supporters. With the equivalent of a cup of coffee or 2 per month, you can help me to stay independent and to create these videos. Because really, this is a self-funded hobby of mine, and with a small income from YouTube and from my valued Patreon supporters, I'm still far away from breaking even.